Hi, it's Cayman with S&B. Today we're going to be installing our high capacity fuel tank on this 2024 Duramax crew cab short bed or crew cab standard bed. This fits all 11 and up short bed or standard bed trucks that have the crew cabs with the 4 full doors. If you already received your tank, take out the QR code, scan it with your camera. It'll take you to our most up-to-date install instructions. You can follow along here as well to get a feel for the install, but we always update our most latest install instructions on the step-by-step that the QR code takes you to. So the tank, high capacity, fits in the OEM space. No need for cutting, no need for removing anything else. Comes with new stainless steel straps. So these are E-coated and powder coated, but it's 409 stainless below that. Make sure you use the new S&B O-ring. It's a black O-ring, it's thicker. You need to use it or it'll leak. We're gonna get started right on the install. This can definitely be installed on the ground, depending on how big your tires are. You might have to pop the truck up a little bit just with the jack to get to slide the S&B tank underneath. But it might be able to be put sideways underneath the frame rail, but super straightforward to do on the ground in your driveway, but we'll get this one up in the air. First step is gonna be removing the filler neck, the hose clamp on the filler neck. So with an 8mm, you can get in there. I already cracked that one open, then we can get this pulled off of the tank. So this is what it looks like. The hose clamp, see some fuel coming out. Now there's another hose clamp. This is the vent hose, the one I'm touching. This one has another 8mm hose clamp. So we're gonna get that loosened up and the vent pulled off. And there's the hose. Flathead screwdriver to remove the electrical connector. So there's a safety on the electrical connector. That slides back, then you depress the button. So I'm gonna find that. There was no lock on that electrical connector. If somebody else took it off, there's just a button right here on top. Depress the button, and now you can wiggle the connector off. Okay. And there's the connector. Now it's time to remove the 2 fuel connectors in front of the tank. If your truck did come with a skid plate, you can remove it at this time, but there's a white connector right there. Then there's a blue connector as well. It might be a different color depending on your truck. We're gonna get these removed. So for this blue connector, there's fingers on the side. I'm just moving the top one. So slide those out, then you pull back on the connector. There we go. Just be careful not to take a diesel shower. Then the white connector up top is the same. So the fingers go back. And then make sure the tab is all the way pulled out. The connector comes apart. So now the tank is actually free to be dropped. There's nothing else that's attached to the tank. We have the electrical connector in the rear. We had the vent on the rear, and then the 2 connectors up here in front. We already removed the filler as well. We're gonna be getting our jack up in place. So this is where the OEM sending unit is. We're not gonna put the jack there. We're gonna center the jack up. This is where the float goes. You're not gonna hurt anything if you go right underneath the float. So we're gonna get a little bit of pressure on the bottom of the tank. Use our 15mm to remove both bolts from the fuel tank straps. This customer came in with a 3/4 tank of fuel. So it is gonna be a little bit heavy, so we're gonna grab a second hand to get the fuel tank off of the jack when it comes down to it. So the bolt is up here. Get on it with the 15mm. So We're gonna hang on to this bolt as it will be reused. Then to get these straps out, you can bend them out of the way like that. They just go up and out of that hanger. So we have the same kind of hanger as the stock ones on ours. Now we'll head over to the rear strap. And again, with our 15 mil, break this one free. So we'll get this tank lower down. I have my hand on the front just to support it. Get it as low as it can go. So now we're going to take it off of the jack. So now you have the tanks on the ground. You can see the difference between the two tanks. Ours is a whole lot wider underneath the frame rail. Really utilize that space. Stock does not. We go up into the cavity underneath the cab. A lot more. You can see where your OEM fuel lines are gonna ride. So everything gets transferred over from the stock tank to the S&B tank, and everything connects the same exact way that we removed it. So now it's time to remove the OEM sending unit. You can either use a pry bar and a dead blow to hit the ring counterclockwise to open it up, or use one of the OEM specific tools. This can be purchased at O'Reilly's and Amazon. I think they're like a $9 item. But now just counterclockwise, we'll crack it open. So now with this free, take these off. It's always good. So we ship these tanks with plugs, but it's always good to check the inside of the tank to make sure there's no debris, nothing fell in during shipping. So you can take out your phone and use a flashlight to check the inside. So we have it on video mode. Get the flash turned on and check the inside and make sure nothing's inside the tank, no debris, no plastic or anything. Once you do a good check, now it's time to move the sending unit over to the S&B tank. But first, the S&B O-ring, if that's not used, your tank will leak, 100%. So now we're gonna remove the OEM sending unit and get it transferred over. The hoses kind of like to stick. So we got that out. O-ring will stay put. But a little trick to keep fuel spillage at a minimum, dump the fuel back in. Now we'll slip this back in to the S&B tank. So just like that. And so it goes in the same way it came out of the stock tank. So if your tab was facing towards the rear, like in this case, will be facing towards this white area, that ring will just fall right in there. Then on 11 to 16 trucks, it's pointed this way, but you'll notice how it comes out of your stock tank. So these lines are in position. We'll get the sending unit kind of pressed in, and that allows us to start the ring right under the teeth. So start it underneath the teeth. We'll grab our locking ring tool. And be careful not to break off any of the OEM components. Like in this case, I'm really close to this, so I'll see if I can find a better spot for it. Because you'd hate to have to go buy a sending unit there in the middle of your install. So this looks really safe. Nothing can go wrong if the tool slips. And this will go clockwise. So now it's clockwise, so I thought I got it all the way. So we're gonna be hitting it until this impression goes underneath that depression. So it needs to rotate all the way under. So now we can get this tank back up on the jack, get it back up into the truck. We'll work on getting our connectors reinstalled, hose reinstalled, and straps. So now we can get the jack underneath the tank. Could raise this into place. Okay, now it's all the way in. We're gonna go through and make sure everything's clear. None of the fuel lines got pinched or caught. Those are free. The filler neck we had on the outside of the frame rail. So that's good. The vent is here nice and loose. This is gonna be cut to be connected to the new S&B main vent. So for now, we're gonna get the filler neck installed. We're gonna get the fuel lines connected, electrical up there, reinstalled. Once everything is situated, then we're gonna get our straps installed to finish up the install. We'll start up front and get the fuel connectors reinstalled. And kind of a trick that I like to do is after I get them connected, I try to pull them back apart after I have them locked in, just to make sure that they did snap in and get completely locked. Sometimes you hear the click, but it might not be completely seated. So it's just another safety measure. So the blue connector, it's locked. It won't come off. Then it's same with the white one behind. The next step is gonna be cutting this hose. You can see it's a custom molded hose. We're gonna be cutting it right at the bend because rather than going to the OEM cine unit for the vent, we're going up to our new brass vent that's up a little bit higher so we can get more fuel in the tank. So right where that bend is. If your hose doesn't have the bend, you just measure it, hold the hose next to the vent, figure out how long it needs to be. Then you can cut it. I already did that here to make sure we were cutting it in the right location, but you can see the vent right there. On the 24 and up trucks, now the hose might just be a little bit short, but you can seal a little bit back from this side. Just loosen up that 8mm. That barb extends far into here. And so we're just gonna pull it back about an inch. Now, since we're using the other vent, we're gonna be plugging this with this 5/8 barb. So you can get the hose pushed on. And then we can tighten this up with an 8mm. So we can get the electrical connector pushed back in. And again, this is something else I like to try to pull off after I have it pushed on to make sure it's all the way connected. Shouldn't be able to wiggle it off after it gets seated and locked. Now before we put the straps on, we're gonna reconnect this filler hose. Once it's on, we'll tighten it up with our 8mm. Then that 5/16 vent hose, that's also on the top of the tank. We're gonna find that and get that zip tied up to the filler. So it's right here. You can see the little vent cap right there. So this is actually the depth line hose, and we're gonna get that zip tied around there since that's high enough. So now we're gonna start with the back strap. We're gonna get this put into the hanger. Bolt started on the other side. Now with your 15 mil. So after you have the rear strap in, you're gonna get that front strap hanging. Get under it with the jack. So the reason for this is there's just a slight difference between the 11 to 16s and the 17 and up. So the strap might just feel a little bit short if you don't have a jack underneath it. Now we'll get the bolt up in there and get it started. Bolt is tightened. We can let go of the jack, clean off the tank. You can see some fuel here. That was just some spillage from the transferring over the center unit. So this is the tank installed. As you can see, ground clearance wise, looks great. We can show you some clips what it looks like on the ground as well. This is the S&B traction bar, so it still fits with this traction bar. This really helps with axle wrap, and if you're towing or just everyday driving and braking. But you can see how we go underneath the frame here. Still some clearance there, but everything looks complete and good. Works with fifth wheel hitches. Even if you put airbags on the truck, everything is going to be good. Let us know if you have any questions, and thanks for watching.